Welcome to the Double EP, featuring the Prime Minister from Eddie Mae Murder Mysteries, Noel Counsil. Our featured artist of the week, classical guitarist Daniel Ramjattan. And of course, our lovely hosts, Denis de la Violette and Kitty Kamenyeki. Don't forget our weekly contest. And now it's time for the Double EP.
Welcome to another edition of the Double EP. I'm Denis de la Violette.
And I'm Kitty Kamenyeki, and today in the studio we have Noel Counsil from Eddie Mae Murder Mysteries. Welcome, Noel.
Thanks, Kitty. Great to be here.
Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. Thanks very much for coming down.
Thanks, Denis. My pleasure.
Now, the Eddie Mae Murder Mysteries. Now, for those who don't know, what's that all about?
Eddie Mae Mysteries is a production company that produces interactive murder mystery entertainment. And it has a public venue at Scarlett's Dinner Theater, following about 20 years at a place called the Marble Works Steakhouse, which was our, and then before that there was something else and something else. It goes back quite a ways. And then we do a wide variety of off-site events and corporate private bookings too.
Excellent. Now, you've been involved for quite a number of years with the group, haven't you?
A long time. I was talking to my wife the other day. It's 26 years that I've been involved.
Congratulations.
I hope congratulations. I think it's a good thing. I did my first murder mystery. I was the victim too. They killed me very, very quickly. I'm not sure that was part of the plan. Maybe they just needed to get me the hell out of there.
They killed you and you never left.
No. That's right. And I ended up working full-time for the company. But that was started in July of 1987, so a long time.
Oh my.
Long time, yeah.
So you guys work with a lot of local artists, local performers, and you do quite a number of shows and whatnot a year now. I'm assuming that there's maybe a little bit of turnover, or you get new actors in and old actors leaving. How do you go about that? Do you hold auditions? How does that work?
Everything we can. We've discovered people in the most bizarre situations. They might be, servers working at a restaurant. They came to us from all kinds of backgrounds. I think more in the early days when we actually worked with a lot of people who didn't perform anywhere else except for Eddie Mae, and yet they really seemed to have a gift for this thing. Nowadays we're a little more conventional. We just had a series of auditions this week. And there's a kind of a website that you can use to contact prospective actors looking for work, so you reach hundreds, if not thousands, of people this way. It's new to me. I'm old school. I'm the guy that talks to the waitress. I guess you can still say that, can't you?
I think so. Yeah.
The waitress, and say, "You're terrific. Have you ever thought about doing a murder mystery?"
Still the old school of, hey, how'd you like to be in show business?
We should. Next question.
Now, being a company that's been around for so long, I know that you have some actors that have worked with you for quite a number of years now, haven't you?
Long time.
I
did a show Saturday night with a chap named Nick Stelmack. Nick has been around longer than I've been around, and I've been around a long time. I think he did the first murder mystery that was ever staged, or maybe the second or third. This goes way back to about 1984.
That's a while back.
A long time ago, and is still working with us all the time, and is still as bizarre and anarchic and frankly hilarious as he ever was. He's just amazing to be on stage with this guy. In fact, most of the people that did the show Saturday night were seasoned Eddie Mae vets, and it was wonderful to watch that collection of talent in the show. Even though we don't get together as often as we used to, or the casting doesn't work out that way, it's terrific when it happens.
Wonderful.
Now that, of course, presents a unique situation in the sense that you have a lot of the actors that have been around for a long time, and then you get all the new people coming in. This really sets a really interesting framework for any new actors that are looking to get this kind of training, which is really unique because you get to work with some of the old guard and see how they do it, and you really get to know how to think on your feet really quickly and react. So in a sense, your group really provides a unique sort of schooling for young actors that come up.
I think so. There are improv companies out there, but they do just improv. And obviously there are conventional theater companies out there, and they do plays. Eddie Mae is this bizarre kind of a hybrid of scripted, well thought out plot that an audience can solve. That is to say, somebody is going to come to a very bad end, and there will always be Detective Eddie Mae, and he will always help them solve the crime. But if they listen and keep their wits about them and examine evidence and interrogate the suspects when they come around, they can solve that crime every time. So you've got that going on. You have the structured, it is a play. And the show that I'm proud to say my son wrote and is currently on the boards right now, which is called Clueless, is very much a play. But there are also these big stretches of time where the actors are right out there and they are improvising. So in order to work for us, you've got to be able to do the play. You have to be able to handle text and a wide variety of physical, movement and music at times, because a lot of our shows are musicals. And you have to be able to talk to people and, like you were saying, Denise, think on your feet all the time. So it's very demanding, and it's hard to find, that right balance. But when you do, it's great to watch.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, Eddie Mae has been running for 30 years or so. How do you guys keep it fresh? How do you keep it new and exciting for people who may have been to see dinner theater a lot in the past, or keep it from getting tired? How do you what sort of things do you incorporate into it?
That's a good question. I think first of all, you just have to sort of be in touch with what is happening culturally. And society will tell you. For instance, a few years ago, there was a red hot show called Glee. At that particular time, I think it was the most watched television show, on any major network. We had no choice but to make that our Christmas show.
Yeah.
Years before that, there was a show called Survivor. It's still around, but it doesn't quite have the same prominence that it did. So you pluck these things like shamelessly and with utter lack of scruples from the cultural tree, and you infuse it with a murder mystery plot, and you roll it out there and see if the audience responds. And with any luck, they do. But it's also got to be the people that are writing for you, the people that are acting for you. I mean, one of the big ways that we stay fresh and current is actually drawing from the acting company itself when it comes to the creative process. I know in the current show, long before I ever gave the guys a script, the director, my kid.
A little selfless promotion.
I know. It's, we plug when we can. Actually put them through a series of workshops, and those workshops gave rise to his text.
Okay.
But, I mean, a lot of the expressions are not things that an old school writer like myself would have relied on. They're stuff that comes right from people who are 20s, 30s. It's, and it's very hip and colloquial, but it gives it a freshness and a new sense of humor, and maybe a different sense of humor than my writers might have had 20 years ago.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Yeah. So being our
special
guest of the week, you are providing us with a wonderful prize for our listeners and viewers today. I understand it is 2 gift certificates for dinner and a show at Eddie Mae Murder Mystery. And it's to see your upcoming play, You're a Dead Man, Charlie Brown, which is based on the Charlie Brown Christmas. Am I correct in that?
So this is your Christmas play? You're a Dead Man, Charlie Brown? Now that's all right. Tell us a little bit about that.
I know it sounds kind of wrong, doesn't it? But yes, I mean, this is what we do. We take A Christmas Carol, or It's a Wonderful Life, or Nutcracker even. And once again, we infuse them, with a violent homicide and turn it into a game. And this is one of the few classics that and somebody suggested it on a whim, a year or two ago. The next thing you know, you'd be trying to kill off Charlie Brown. Bing! So, yes, of course, we jumped right on it, and that's going to be the Christmas show this year. You're a Dead Man, Charlie Brown.
Great. So, what is our question for our viewers
Our
to win
challenge
these?
of the week.
Yeah, our
Okay.
challenge to win these wonderful tickets.
Well, they're going to have to solve something based on the current show that's running in order to get tickets for the next show. And they can use this for this one too, but somewhere on our website at eddiemay.com, EDDIEMAY, you will find this. Now, you may find this, but this is the one that you want. All right?
Now, what do we have here?
All right.
Okay.
This is the poster for Clueless.
Okay.
The first person to email us from the website and correctly identify all 7 characters
Wins.
wins those free passes.
Wonderful.
Good for dinner and show.
Good.
Great.
So 2 free passes
Starting-
for dinner and a show, and all you have to do is identify the 7 characters from Clueless.
And they can find that poster somewhere on the website.
Okay.
Excellent.
So,
You can send your contest submissions to contest@theep.com.
Excellent. Well, listen, Noel, thank you very much for coming in,
Oh.
and we understand that you're ramping up for a great holiday season. We wish you the best of luck.
Definitely.
very much.
And remember, folks out there, if you want a good time, go and see Noel and the gang, and enjoy yourself at the Eddie Mae Murder Mysteries. And don't forget to try to answer the question and win these fabulous prizes, and then you can go for free.
Exactly.
It's excellent. So, Noel, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank
it
you
was
so
a great
much.
pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
All right.
course.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for our featured artist. Welcome back to the featured artist portion of this week's Double EP.
And that's right. This week we have the pleasure of welcoming into the studio Daniel Ramjattan, a classical guitarist. Welcome, Daniel.
Welcome, Daniel.
Hi, Denny. Hi, Kitty.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming
Thank
out.
you for inviting me.
Now, I understand you have a very varied past. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from a lot of places. I'm from Montreal and Stratford and Ottawa. I say all of those places are where I'm from, but I was born in Montreal. I moved to Kitchener, lived there for a very short time, and then moved to Stratford. Stratford is where I spent my high school, and it's where I picked up the guitar and started taking it seriously. Ottawa is, of course, where I've lived for all of my undergrad, which I'm finishing this year. And this is my 4th year now, so living here, it's a beautiful place. Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, that's yeah. So how long have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing guitar for 11 years now. If you count, there's 3 years there in Montreal where I don't really count. So you could say 14 years, but I was just playing, single string melodies and stuff. It was when I really went to Stratford and started studying with a teacher named Dave Santandrea that I really started to really get serious about guitar. And so.
Great. Now, I understand that you're studying at Ottawa U, but you also teach. Is that correct?
Yes, I teach part-time. That's my only source of employment. And so I teach at a couple of music schools, and I have some private students, and have almost 20 students now. Yeah, it's really great. I think teaching is one of the most important parts of being a musician, because if you want music to be good, and you want music to continue, and you want the tradition to continue, and music is a tradition, I think, no matter what kind you do, teaching is the way to perpetuate that. Allow it to continue. It's a way of giving back to what you have.
For sure.
Excellent. Now, I also understand that you have a very special approach to how you play and how you approach music and how you approach the guitar, which is based on your spiritual influences. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think the essence of the way I connect spirituality to music is in the idea of a monk or a priest versus an entrepreneur or a worker. I think a lot of people, when they say, "Oh, well, you're studying music, you're getting a bachelor of music. What are you going to do with that?" The implication is like, what kind of job are you going to have? But you can't compare music in the same way you can with being a scientist or being something else. It's the pursuit of knowledge for the sake of knowledge, and the amount that we have to dedicate as musicians to our art without being paid, without any financial gain, is far more than what we'll ever make as performers, even if we, so-called make it big.
For sure.
If you practice 6 hours a day, I mean, you're really getting cents an hour for a performance,
Yeah.
even if it's like $150 or something. So you have to have a deeper motivation than simply saying, I want to be famous. I want this power, whatever.
Yeah.
It's more than that. It has to be based on a real belief in the importance of music to society and to life. One could say the more time we're spending doing our art, the less time we're killing each other, the less time we're harming each other.
For sure.
Right.
And I think it contributes to peace in the world in a lot of ways.
Definitely. So I understand that we have a clip of you playing
That's
that
right.
we've recorded. Why don't you set us up? What are we about to watch?
I'm going to be playing you a piece from a French composer, also Tunisian, named Roland Diance, and the piece is called Fuoco, or Fire. It's the third movement of a piece called Libre Sonatine. It's a very flashy kind of piece.
Excellent.
Great.
All right, well, here's the clip.
Wow, that was really good. That was
Excellent.
great.
Thank you
You're
very
very
much.
talented. So I understand that you're working with MJM Epic Productions and producing some music for GCTC's upcoming Goodnight Desdemona, Good Morning Juliet, and that you got the gig through our talent roster. Why don't you tell us a bit about that?
Right. Stephen, one of the composers for MJM Epic, he contacted me through email, and he had heard about my work and my performing and stuff, and he asked if I could audition for his talent roster as a classical guitarist. And so I played him a piece in the studio here, and he seemed to like it. And so now we're working on the production with the Great Canadian Theatre Company, Goodbye Desdemona, Good Morning Juliet. And what I'll be doing is acting as a consultant for Renaissance music, because the piece, of course, takes place in Renaissance times, the Shakespearean times,
Yeah.
and in certain aspects of it. And I will be performing the classical guitar in the certain areas that call for it, in place of the lute. So it will have a sort of Renaissance-y old world vibe, yeah. So.
Excellent. So apparently you have a CD planned for later on this year. Is that correct?
Yes, I plan on recording some the music that I'll be doing at my recital at the end of the year, which is part of my bachelor's degree, which will be in April. But also I'll be performing with the Ottawa Guitar Society in March as part of their Young Artist Showcase, and I got that through a competition that I won last year called the Concours de Ottawa Gatineau, which was at the Gatineau Conservatoire.
Cool.
So I'll be playing some of the pieces that I'm doing there, some of them by Ottawa composers such as Raphael Wainwright Brown, and Patrick Roux, another Ottawa composer.
Great. So what's next? What's next for you after this, after Ottawa?
What do we have
Once you've
coming up?
conquered Ottawa, where are you off to next?
Well, I will definitely never conquer it, but what I would like to do once I finish my degree, I guess, conquer the bachelor's degree. I would like to apply to. I'm applying to many different universities for a master's degree this year. One of the places being Lugano, Switzerland, and Florida State University, which is in Tallahassee, Florida. And the teachers there are both very incredible, and I would really like to work with them. And I'm also looking at some other places such as Arizona.
Very cool.
Excellent.
So how can people get in touch with you? Do you have a Twitter account or a Facebook, any place that people can watch what you're doing and follow you?
Yeah, you can contact me through email, which is on my website at danielramjattan.com, just myname.com. And you can also reach me through my YouTube account, which is youtube.com/danielramjattan. So
Quick and easy. Well, listen,
Great.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
so
in.
much.
Excellent talent, really beautiful music, and so wonderfully
I
inspired.
love the classical guitar. It's
I
amazing.
know. It's
So
great,
pretty.
isn't it? To be so talented, so young. I mean, my goodness. So thank you very much for coming in once again, and best of luck to you.
thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you
coming.
very much, Denise. Thank you, Katie.